Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Ahead of Trump visit to New Hampshire, White House officials detail plan to fight opioid abuse. President Donald Trump on Monday in New Hampshire will lay out a sweeping plan to fight the opioid epidemic by toughening criminal penalties for drug dealers, cutting demand for illicit drugs, and improving treatment opportunities. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Oh, you don't look so hot. Rough night? Ugh. Oh, well, actually, that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic and drink plenty of fluids.
Breaking news on tomorrow's visit to New Hampshire by President Trump, the White House now confirms the president will announce he wants to use the death penalty against convicted drug traffickers. It's part of a three-pronged plan released tonight. The president will be at Manchester Community College and will stop at the Manchester Fire Station, where the Safe Stations program all started. Now here's a closer look at his opioid initiative. The White House says it will reduce demand with education, awareness, and preventing the overprescription of painkillers. It calls to cut the flow of drugs by inspecting high-risk shipments at the border and seeking the death penalty for traffickers where appropriate under current law. And it would give more help to those fighting addiction by expanding access to treatment and improve Medicaid reimbursements to those programs.
We're coming up to New Hampshire, first time since he's been president, because that is one of the places that he first heard as a candidate that this crisis next door, the opioid and drug demand, drug supply epidemic, is on the increase.
A protest against the president is planned tomorrow afternoon at Veterans Park. Organizers say the president has cut funding before and is taking the wrong approach now.
It's been proven that punitive measures are going to make the addiction crisis worse. We need to end the war on drugs and move towards a policy that's based on science and compassion, because while he's up there talking, we're out here dying.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Family says father, 2 children killed in fire. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Well, Duke and Nicole, the cause of this fire is still unknown, but we did just speak to family members of those 3 victims. They tell us a father, a son, and a daughter were all killed in this blaze. The father had reportedly evacuated the building, but went back in once he realized 2 of his children were still inside. 7:20 Sunday morning, an automatic alert goes into Springfield Dispatch about a fire alarm going off.
Command 2, Engine 3, Ladder 3, response is 49 Delman Avenue.
When first responders arrive, heavy smoke is seen pouring from this apartment building, with people jumping out of windows.
We have people falling out of the building. Multiple people. I need multiple ambulance here.
While firefighters work to put out the flames, they're told that 3 residents are missing on the 2nd floor, the same floor where the heaviest flames are seen.
We started a search process for those people. We have since found them. We've found 3 bodies.
I feel bad.
Omar Hussein's uncle was one of the victims. Hussein and his family drove from Boston once they heard the news and tragically found out that not only did their uncle die, but their uncle's son and daughter.
The wife told us he come out, so he missing 2 kids, so he go back.
Authorities say between 60 and 80 people are displaced from this fire inside the 20-unit apartment. Fire officials add while there were working fire alarms, the building is not equipped with sprinklers. The mayor has been informed by code enforcement that the apartment has a good landlord and that this has been a good property. While investigators look for the cause of this deadly fire, the city is working to find housing for these displaced residents, many who are Somalian.
Many a times when there's cultural differences, sometimes people might not adhere to the smoke detectors, alarms going off.
And you can see from our shot right here, investigators in that second floor apartment where potentially this fire started. They don't know where exactly, but that is the unit that has the most damage from what we're able to see. As far as the family members that we spoke to, they tell us a 3rd child did survive this fire along with the victim's mother. She's currently at the hospital recovering from burns she received. As far as the 4 people that were also injured, the fire commissioner tells me their injuries are considered non-life threatening. In Springfield, Matt Reed, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mary's Walk Carry Man 5K celebrates 20 years. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
As a mutual savings bank, we take the word mutual seriously, helping our customers get the lending they need to run their businesses better. We've been here for over 190 years and will be in it together for 190 more. Saco and Biddeford Savings.
The 20th annual Mary's Walk and Carryman 5K got underway at Thornton Academy in Saco today. To date, the road race has raised millions of dollars in the fight against cancer and draws around 3,000 participants every year. The race's founder, Gene Libby, named the race after his wife, Mary Carey, who died of Burkitt's lymphoma in 1997. The race still follows Mary's old walking course around the couple's former Saco neighborhood.
Cancer has personally touched my family. Both my grandfather and my aunt passed away from cancer. And one of my friends was running this race as well and kind of brought it to my attention. So I thought this would just be a perfect first race to run in memory of them.
All proceeds from this race are donated to the Maine Cancer Foundation, supporting statewide cancer programs and research.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Trump's stimulus will make the deficit with China worsen, not better, says Credit Suisse Economics. President Donald Trump pro-business policies such as corporate tax cuts will ironically worsen the U.S. trade and current amount deficits, Credit Suisse said Monday. Explosion in Austin injures 2 men, authorities say. 4th incident this month. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
As a trans man, I finally feel comfortable being me. I work too hard on this body to let anything toxic tear it down, including tobacco. This body, my life, is non-toxic.
This free life, freedom to be tobacco-free. We're going to turn right now to Austin, Texas, where 2 people have been killed in 3 mysterious package bombings. The latest explosions came just miles apart from each other. Authorities believe a serial bomber is on the loose, and they're not ruling out the possibility that the bombings are hate crimes. This morning, a $15,000 reward for information into mysterious explosions rocking Austin, Texas.
It was just a loud boom.
For the 3rd time in 10 days, packages containing bombs have been left at homes just miles apart. Investigators believe the blast could be racially motivated.
We do know that both of the homes that were the recipients of these packages belonged to African Americans, so we cannot rule out that hate crime is at the core of this, but we're not saying that that's the cause as well.
One of the explosions killing a 17-year-old African-American teen and injuring a woman when they opened a package they discovered on their front porch.
We got 2 people down. It looks like one in the door and tray.
Just hours after that blast, another one, critically injuring a 75-year-old Hispanic woman who opened a package.
All of a sudden, we just heard an explosion, and I just felt it like move the ground. And that's when we walked out and we saw the smoke and the lady laying on the floor.
The latest explosions now make a total of 3 this month alone. The first killing 39-year-old Anthony House. Police say packages were not sent by mail, but were left on front porches in the middle of the night. And they say the devices show a certain amount of sophistication and are powerful enough to cause extensive damage inside the homes.
These devices can explode in many ways, either by being moved or by being opened. If you see something that's out of place, do not handle it.
Some good advice right there. And the latest bombings coincide with the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, which of course brings 400,000 people to that city. But neither explosion was near the festival's events.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.